Thank you, Veronica, for joining me today. This is part 2 of your overall booking webinar. Today we're going to go over some advanced booking techniques, multi-stop, and we're going to touch base again on how to view an instant OTA price match and also the payment link you can send over to customers. So we'll do that one first. So under your retrieve reservation box, I did it from the VAX page, just so I can pull up all of the brands. If you're in a specific brand website, such as Travel Impressions, you're only going to pull up Travel Impressions bookings. So same thing, Apple Vacations, just Apple bookings. So I'm doing it this way just to see if we have any reservations that are in here that we have test bookings on that we can send over to you. So obviously you can hit retrieve reservation right here to pull up a reservation number. You do have additional search options right here that you can use to pull up reservations. You can do first and last name. You can do minimum booking date, maximum booking date, departure dates, minimum and maximum. On this main VAX page, it would be specific suppliers, origin, destination. If you had a promotion code on reservations, you can pull up reservations that have specific codes on them. Or if you have a bunch of different agents in the office, people as site admin have access to pull up everybody. You can also do your status booking, which is active or canceled. So I'm actually going to leave this blank just to pull up everything. See if we have an active reservation I can retrieve for you. Okay, I got a couple of them actually. So when you pull up your search, you see a bunch of different information. It's pretty self-explanatory, like supplier, reservation, passengers, booking date. You got origin, destination, payment information, promo code if one's on there, status. So you can always click on it to filter alphabetically or whatever you want to do. That's not a problem. When you click on export to Excel, it gives you more options to actually search everything by. So just remember, if you're looking for specific hotels that you have booked, if you click on this export to Excel, actually let's do it real quick. Or it's just taking forever. There we go. And I'll move that over to show you. It gives you other options to actually view everything in Excel. So you have the same information, supplier, reservation number, passengers, booking dates, etc. But if you scroll over a little bit more, you get a little bit more information, such as what hotel it's booked with. I think this area is great. Oh, too far over. To where you can filter by payment dates. I think that would be a great thing for you to do every Monday morning or Friday. You pull up what reservations have payment due, and then you can set your reminders out. You can filter by your commission, so you can highlight everything and use your formulas. If you're good with Excel, it'll calculate your sum of commission for the year. It'll tell you the package type, the booking channel, status, and the agent name who booked it. So you have a little bit more information in here if you need it. So I am just going to pull up something that's active. So we got a bunch of them in here. And I have one that I booked, so let's pull that up by clicking on the reservation number. So the payment link is only going to be able to be used when you actually have a reservation created. So it would be at your top right. So right by your refund request button, your price match button. So the price match will tell you kind of what's needed to submit a price match. And then your payment request is right here. So this is the one where you click on it, and it's an email that has a link that you can send to your customers for payment. Correct. Because what they're going to do is they click on that link, it technically goes inside the reservation, just the payment area, and then they can apply the payment within that payment area. They can't do anything to the reservation though. They can't cancel it or modify. You can do it for every single payment. So, yep, you can send it over for the deposit. They pay the deposit. Let's say a week later they want to pay $200. Click on the payment request again. Send it over. Doesn't matter. It's every payment. You just send that payment link over. So it could be for initial deposit. You could do either way. Yep, either way. Yep. So it's a very convenient thing. I feel like, especially late at night or possibly over the weekend. And what I'll do on this, the email I sent with the 2 recordings, I can actually include that link. And that'll take you right to our education page where you can see the information on how to do it. Let me just highlight that so I do not forget. Okay. So before we get on to the next portion of this, are you everything else okay? You want me to go over anything else? Oh, we have to go over the no. Yep, top right next to basically the brand logo within the reservation that has all the payment details. It'll be right next to there. So let's touch base on what it will look like. Let's see if I can find price match information in here. That's not in here. But what I can do is get it in a different page. So I'm just going to click on Funjet. Funjet has probably the most information as far as some of the policies and procedures in here. So price match information will be under travel info. Then if you scroll down the price match plus. So this will give you kind of a 10-minute video regarding price matches. It will also give you information of who we match against and if there's a commission cap or not. So Hotel Direct, no commission cap. That's basically an auto match. Standard tour operators, no commission cap. That's basically guaranteed price match. All OTAs are online travel agents, as long as it is a OTA price match plus hotel. So that has the little blue box when you're pricing it out. And you can actually get a list of them in here too. So if you click on click here, here's a list of the instant OTA price match hotels. So let's see how many pages we got. Quite a few of them. Yeah. So let me send a link for that too, because I think it's beneficial to watch the video. But the biggest indicator is that blue box when you're making the reservation right next to your room category name. Alright, so we're going to stay on the Funjet page to do our multi-stop functions, just because it's a lot quicker. So again, the functionality is the same between all of the brands. So making a reservation, your filters, everything's the same. The only difference is really the layout of the website Some brands have different promotions and offers. That's essentially the biggest difference. So you have your search box on the left-hand side. We're going to focus on this advanced search down here in multiple destinations. So let's click on advanced search first. So it's going to take you to a different screen. And you have your package type down here. So you can do flight and hotel. You can do hotel only. This is going to be where you have your filters essentially. So for this instant, I'm just going to use flight and hotel. We're going to put an origin and destination. So let's say we're going Orlando to Jamaica. And you're in March. So let's say the 15th for 7 nights. But if they need to modify their hotels for maybe only 3 nights or 4 nights, you have to be in this screen because you can select your options here. So you have your flight filters pre-selected here. You don't have that on your main booking page. Your hotel, same thing right here. So I want to actually touch base on where it says shop by schedule. So when you price out a reservation, it's normally shop by price automatically. So what the system does is it matches up classes of service that are the best pricing for your customers. And there's a set selection of options. You may have flights that you see on a airline's website that aren't pulling in bags. So because of that shop by price option, maybe the class of service don't match for the price point that it's trying to match up for you in bags. If you click on shop by schedule, you're going to get more flight options. So I'm going to click on that too, because this is a great screen if you have a price match. Because with price matches, you have to match classes of service. You can select classes of service in the screen. So you don't have to search around in your shop by price and maybe that class of service isn't there. Give us a call. Go to shop by schedule. You can select your classes of service so you know they're there. We'll get to that shortly when we hit search. So you have your airlines here. I mean, you can select your airline, number of stops, departure, return time. I'm just going to keep that as is. You have your hotel options down here. So if you're looking for a specific hotel, you can type that in there. I do not recommend putting your specific hotel to search on this main page. Because if that hotel's not available, it's going to give you an error and not even bring up any of the hotel availability. So use your filters within the reservation tool within your search page to look for hotels. So right down here is going to be the option to where you can select specific dates. Maybe they need to arrive to the hotel on the 18th. Just click on the calendar and select your new date. Simple as that. And now from here you can hit search. So let's wait for that to pull up because it'll look a little bit different for you when you actually get into your search page. So let's get that pulled up for you. Just a few seconds. Alright, come on, let's go. First use of the day. You gotta work. There we go. Alright, so this screen looks a little bit different, doesn't it? So here in this blue area is where you can filter your flights, where you can sort your flights by. So if you click on carrier, it'll alphabetize them. Click on departs. Yep. Correct. Same thing with departs. You can click on departs. It'll have the earliest departure. Arrives, earliest arrival. Stops layover, it'll go 0, 1, 2 if you select that. So because it's Orlando, there's probably not going to be any non-stops out there. Maybe JetBlue, but I doubt it. Oh, yeah, see, right here, Southwest, JetBlue, Spirit. Those flights are non-stop options. So if you're looking to match a class of service, so let's use JetBlue for instance. Right here. If you click on the plus sign next to View Class, here's where you can select your class of service. So it looks like this flight is pretty popular. So, well, because I'm looking right here, so M class, no seats available, Z class, 0, O class, 0. So it'll read like a book, top to bottom, left to right. So Y is going to be your most expensive, all the way down to N class is your least expensive. So just for purposes, let's say we want to get V as in Victor class. Let's see if we can get these to price. You're just going to click on the class of service that you need. It'll take you to your return flight. Click on the plus sign to view your class. And let's select V as in Victor again. Now from here, right up here, you hit price, selected flights. You can. It'll tell if those, because not every class of service matches with one another. You can give it a go. If it doesn't price, it'll tell you it doesn't price. So right here, it'll take you to your next screen. The reason why it's taking you to your next screen right here is because there's a bulk rate offered. So bulk scheduled air is just basically contracted scheduled airfare. If it doesn't have a bulk rate offered, it will just go straight to your next screen. Yep, so we have a bulk and a publish. Publish is a lot less expensive, so you're probably going to choose that one. So you just hit the select button, and it's going to take us over to our next screen. So now is where we can change our hotels. We can add our features, whatever we need to do. So let's take a notice here though. So we have our flights on the 15th through the 22nd, and our hotel the 18th through the 22nd. So it doesn't look any different as far as your air, hotel, and features summary goes, or your checkout page, or your booking. It's just the dates are offset. So if you click on hotels, here's where you're going to see that instant OTA price match property. So you have your room category name, you have another box in the middle. This one says instant OTA price match. That's the one you're going to look for those instant price match hotels. That little blue box right there. If you hover over it, it kind of tells you. So let's say you forget to offset your hotels for a shorter stay on your initial search page. You can still do it once you hit search. And we'll go ahead and show you real quick how to do that. So on your left-hand side by your filters, if you scroll down a little bit more, there's an area called additional search items. It'll give you your calendar here. So here is where you can offset your hotel dates if you need to again. And then hit search. It will modify the dates just for your hotels. Or if you want to put it back to your original dates, just put it back to the original dates, hit search, it'll modify the dates for the hotel. So don't worry if you forget to on your main page. It's pretty simple. So that's the advanced search. So the advanced search is essentially what you're going to use to really offset your hotel dates. Or if you're looking for specific airline options or hotel options, that's really it. Because on your main page, you don't have any filter options except for your shop by price or shop by schedule. So that's really where you're going to go for that. Well, if you make a reservation, Are you referring to how to search or the price match? Oh, price match itself, it's done at time of booking essentially. So if you make a reservation today, you're gonna have to go into that competitor, get a screenshot for what it is, and 99% of the time, your customer is gonna send you the information for the price match. So the times are gonna pretty much match up. So you can't make a reservation on FunJet 2 days down the road, say, because customer found a lower price with Expedia. That you cannot do because price matches are basically at time of booking. Not necessarily, because some carriers allow a deposit like 3 days down the road. So in order for hotels to give us that lower rate, they have to have a timestamp. So the timestamps have to really match up. So basically, it's at initial time of booking is when you can do a price match, even if deposit is 3 days down the road. So underneath your advanced search option, you're going to see multiple destinations. Multiple destinations is probably the most difficult function to use in VAX. I'm going to show you probably the easiest way to kind of think about it, to make it not as intimidating, because you can get 4, 5, 6, 7 destinations on here, and then you're going to look at it and be like, okay, now I need all the components. What do I need? So I'm going to give you the easiest way to kind of search for it. So we're in our multiple destinations. So you have your destination region here. So you can click on your whatever destination. So if you want Europe, you can click on Europe, multi-stop or hotel only. Mexico, Caribbean, or Hawaii, whichever you choose. With Hawaii, though, you do have the option for hotel only with the flights in between the islands. You do have that option for Hawaii. So just for purposes, I'm going to use Hawaii as our example. You have your departure city. It's pretty simple. So let's say LAX. Add my travel protection. Choose your dates for destination 1. So you're going to fill in, you're going to, so your first destination. So let's say it's Honolulu. Put in your city and your number of nights. So let's say they want 4 nights in Honolulu. Now from here, you're going to select your components that you want. Because we chose flight and hotel, we can't deselect the flight from Los Angeles over to Honolulu. You can, however, deselect the other components if you need to. Do they need a hotel? Yes or no? It'll pre-select it, so if you don't need it, remove the check mark. Do you need a rental car? Yes or no? If no, remove the check mark. So that's destination 1. So now let's say we want to go out to Maui. So one thing also with Hawaii is if you don't know the airport code, when you start typing out the city, it'll give you the airport codes. So I'm going to choose Maui, and let's do 4 nights in Maui too. So destination 1, Honolulu, destination 2, Maui. If you look at it kind of going from point A to point B, or destination 1 to destination 2, it'll make things a lot easier. So going from Honolulu to Maui, are we going to need a flight, yes or no? In this case, yes. So we're going to keep that selected. Alright, so we figure out how we're going to get from destination 1 to destination 2. Now you got to look at it as, what do we need within that destination 2? Are we going to need our hotel, yes or no? A rental car, yes or no? And then that would be the same thing for destination 3, destination 4. Okay, we have destination 3. How are we going to get from destination 2 to destination 3? Okay, now we figured that out. In destination 3, what do we need? So if you just kind of look at it point to point, it'll make things a lot easier for you. So it's a lot easier than just looking at it overall, be like, okay, got 4 destinations, now what do I need? So while you're building your package, it'll make things easier for you. So in this case, I'm just going to remove my car rental on there. And also, kind of a cool thing, in our multiple destination function, we have the ability to change our return flight. So this is something called an open jaw. So you're flying from one city, returning back to a different city. You could only do this in the multiple destination area. And it's pretty simple. You just remove the city, your initial one. So let's say they need to go back to Denver. Put in your new airport. Now they're going to go back to Denver. It's pretty simple. So I'm going to show you probably in like 10-15 minutes how to do it when you only need one destination. Because you can only do it in the multiple destination tool. But we all know not everyone needs 2 destinations for that. But because the system requires 2 destinations, I'm going to show you how to do it when you only need one. So let's go ahead and hit search. And get this to pull up. See how it looks when you do a multiple destination search. So the reason why I chose this one is the lag time when you select the number of nights or your city is a lot better on this brand than it is with Travel Impressions. I did report that just a couple times to let them know that the lag time is just horrible. They're looking at it. I don't know what it is. Alright, so it is thinking. It'll just take a few seconds. I can pretty much say they don't have anything. Correct. Unless things were added. It's the only way to get into that area is by clicking on that. Alright, come on, let's go. Oh, okay, error. Alright, let's try it again. Yes, it is. Let me just... Yeah, basically it just took you to your previous screen that you were on before you hit search when you got that error. When we got that error. So you don't have to go back from the beginning and then go to your multiple destination again. It just took us to the multiple destination page. That's a good point, Lori, because that's what we are heading to. Of course you can. And someone's going to say, oh, like, Michelle, we emailed you to take payment for process this payment. But if I'm not on it, that's where I get lots of offers. Oh, jeez. Okay. Yep. Yep. Okay, well, it's probably going to give us another error. Let's try this. Yeah. Yeah, let's see if a different brand is the same issue. So you're on your main page under multiple destinations. Alright, so there's an error here too. Our customer care department, if you have issues making a reservation and stuff like that, they're here to help you guys. Are like travel agents, so there's phone numbers on here that you would actually be able to call and get reservation assistance. Alright, so let's try it in here. So we have Los Angeles. I'm just in multiple destinations in the travel impressions page. Right under your advanced search. Oh, okay. So let's go to Honolulu. Alright, let's try this itinerary. Alright, OGG. Alright, so let's hit search to see if we can get something going. So I have my fingers crossed and my toes crossed. So we know how you feel because we get it on our side too. Alright, fingers crossed. Yeah, we're probably gonna get an error. Oh no, wait. Searching. Awesome. So it went through. So it's gonna pull your flights first, then your hotels. Unlike a single destination where it pulls your hotels first, then your flights. So here's where you can use your filters to select your specific flights, your departures, arrivals, anything you need. I'm just going to use this Delta flight right here as an example, so let's go ahead and select. And now from here, it's going to take us to the next flight that we need. So we need to get from Honolulu to Maui. You can use your filters to look for your flights that you need. So let's do this 11:15 flight, gets into Maui at 12:10. We're going to go ahead and hit select. And it will then ask you to look at your return flight. So it'll take you from your point-to-point flights that you need. So if you have 5 destinations, you're going to have to click on 5 flights. You can use that at the initial search page under your filters. On a multi-stop, you cannot use search by class of service. You can filter by your cabin type on your main search page. When you are under your advanced, well, basically in that area on your return flight, there's a drop down where you can select a specific cabin. So you're done selecting your flights. I'm not going to bother with hotels because we talked about how to price out hotels and everything. This is going to be how it will look. You have your flights up here. It'll give you your times, your dates, origin, destination. It'll give you your destination 1. So in this case, we're in Honolulu. It'll provide your dates. So you can go in here and select whichever hotel you want, room category, and your feature. Then you have your destination 2. Same thing. You can select your hotels and then your feature. So that's going to be how it looks. It'll basically break it down for you. The hardest part is getting in there. So let's get back to our search page. So I hit search, it takes me back to this multi-destination page again. So I'll just scroll down to the bottom and show you. So under your return flight area, if you click on your additional flight options, here's where you can select a specific cabin. Business, first, premium economy, or coach. So that's where you would select that. So, Veronica, do you do any cruises by chance? Perfect. So, how many times you book a cruise for your customer, and from there, they say, well, I want a hotel night before I get on my cruise and a hotel night after my cruise. Yeah. Well, you can do that in Vax. So you can get that reservation, you can package it together so you can get their flights, you can get their hotel, you get your commission, you get that booking, you can also offer that additional benefit of the Travel Protection Plus to your customers. Because we all know cruises don't always go. And we're going to build that out right now and how it will look. So I'm going to go back. So I'm going to clear everything out by clicking on my travel impressions. Logo gets us back to our travel impressions page. Under your search box, we're going back under multiple destinations. So let's say they're doing a Caribbean cruise, for instance. All right, so let's do departure from Philadelphia. All right, so we're going to select Philadelphia. Destination 1, let's say they're leaving out of Miami. I think Miami is a cruise port. I am not positive. All right, so we're going to select their date. Select your city that you want your post night for. So I'm going to do Miami. So your pre-night can be however many nights you need. It could be 3 nights, 2 nights, 1 night, however many. I'm going to choose 1 because they just want my customers in my head, quote unquote, just want 1 night currently. Now you're going to select the options that you need. So they need that 1 night hotel. We're going to keep that selected. I'm going to remove a rental car. Destination 2 is going to be their cruise. So if it's a Caribbean cruise, we can just put in Jamaica here. It really doesn't matter. So let's put in Jamaica's airport code. Number of nights will be the number of nights they're on their cruise for. So let's say it's a 10-nighter. I'm going to select 10 nights. And because they're on a cruise, we don't need any components. So they don't need a flight. They're not going to need a hotel or a rental car. So we're going to deselect everything. And now for their post night, we're going to go down here to add additional destination and click on it. And then it'll populate a 3rd destination. There we go. So destination 2 is the cruise. Destination 3 is going to be our post stay. So where do they need to stay for their post hotel option? Well, let's do back in Miami. Right, click on that. Then the number of nights you want for your post stay. Select 1. Alright, so destination 3. So again, let's look at this from point to point. Destination 2 was on their cruise. Destination 3 is Miami. Did they need a flight? Yes or no? No, they didn't because they were on that cruise. Will I need a hotel? Yes, the customers will need a hotel in that destination. And then rental car if they need it, yes or no. And now from here, you can hit search. So there we go. It's going to search for us. And wait for that to pull up. And one thing I will mention is, yes, in Miami, they do have transfers to and from the port. So let's just wait for this to pull up so I can show you how it looks. Correct. You got it. Well, so Vax is a mall. So you have a bunch of different stores or products within that mall. So us at Apple Leisure Group, we do not book cruises. Different companies do pay Vax to use the bookings engine. So, yes, you will see that option in Vax, but that's not part of Apple Leisure Group. So I'm just going to select some random flight real quick and just kind of show you how it looks. Alright, so we selected our flights. We have Destination 1, our one-night hotel stay. Obviously, you can go in and change the hotel and add features if you need to. Destination 2 is blank. So that's our cruise. Destination 3 is our post. So that's how it'll look when you make a pre and post cruise booking. You're just going to leave a portion of that itinerary blank. You're just going to deselect everything. So Yep. That's your commission. It all depends. I mean, you can get up to 5%. But it also, you do have that option to get that travel protection that'll cover that airfare cost for your customers. And you do make commission on that travel protection. So this might be different because this is just set up under a training ARC. So yours could be more, it could be less, depending on your commission percentage. So the last one I want to show you is a single destination if your customers want to fly from one city, take their trip, go back to a different airport. We have to do that in a multiple stop because you need technically 2 destinations in order to do that. So we're going to go back down to multiple destinations. And we're going to go to Dominican. So let's go LaGuardia. Let's select some dates. Down the road. You're putting your destination, so we're going to do PUJ for Punta Cana. And the number of nights you're going to take on your trip. So let's say they're going to do a 7-night stay. But maybe they were visiting family beforehand. Now they want to take a vacation and then fly home to St. Louis. Alright, so we have our destination. But here we have 2 destinations. We don't need 2 destinations. So a way to get this done is put in your same destination as you have your first destination. So PUJ. This is something that we call a dummy stop. Your number of nights is going to be 0. And then you deselect all your components. Now we have the option to change your return city. So you're going to remove, add your new city where they're flying back to. You have your flight options if you need it. And now you can search. So that's a way around that one. And it'll just look like any other multi-stop reservation. Correct. Yeah, or your second destination, because technically you need 2 stops in order to do it. But that second stop is just going to be 0 nights. And just remove everything. So it'll allow you to select your outbound flight from LaGuardia, in this case, could be from wherever. Select your return flight. See, as you notice, it's from Punta Cana back to St. Louis. Select your return flight. Now from here we can select our hotel and any features. Then destination 2 is blank. So that's how you would do it on your end. That is actually quite a popular modification nowadays, and it will save you a ton of time, especially during peak season, instead of having to call in. So it's a very popular modification these days. So that is what I had for you today. So a little bit less time than the first one, but still a ton of information. So do you any questions? That is yet to come. So after today, I will go ahead, well, after we get off the phone, I'll start rendering this video. And so I'll give you the link for this one and also the previous one. Give you some additional links on there, like the payment link page and kind of a page to the price match policy. And I'm going to CC our groups specialist. His name's Anthony Pupfora. He is fantastic as far as talking about groups and just fantastic in general. But he'll go over the 2 different groups types with you, the benefits of each different type, and also the group's dashboard. So when you do a contracted group, our group's team builds you a specific dashboard specifically for that group. And there's a lot of self-service things that you can do in there. It's actually a really neat technology. So he'll go over that with you as well. But that doesn't mean if you have any questions, you can always feel free to reach out to me if you need to. So as far as what do you mean? Like, do you have an agency website? On your initial main page, so let's go back there. You will have some information on here. Right now, we're still working on it, but it's something called ALGV 360. It's all your marketing information needed in one area. So you can print flyers, promotions, you can forward it if you need to. Right now it's just called TI 360 because it hasn't, the ALGV 360 has not launched yet. So if you click on the TI 360, you can go ahead and click on here to get started. It'll ask for a login name and every information here. If you do not have a login, yes, you'll have to sign up for it. User ID and password for VAX. So put your user ID that you log into VAX for and password, and it should take you right in there. And it's got a bunch of marketing materials for you. So I can go in there and I can put this link in there for you too. Yeah, and one thing to keep an eye out for too is we will probably be having trainings when the ALGV 360 launches. So we have a webinar calendar where You can learn about a bunch of different things. It could be groups, it could be hotels hosting a specific webinar, so you can learn about specific hotels, whatever it may be. There will be one eventually for this marketing site, basically. It's going to be everything that you need for your marketing. We're hoping next month. That's just basically education. So no, that's something completely separate. So I mean, you can go through that. I mean, I think would be great to go over. I mean, it'll give you some brand information. It will give you probably some product information as well. Well, it's kind of it's kind of twofold on that one. So you do have the opportunity when you're making your reservations in Vax. You do earn Waves points. So your Waves points you can convert into discounted travel. So that you can do as well. But as far as any opportunities for a FAM, that would be something you would have to reach out to your BDM with. Yeah, so yours would be Maria Lewis. Yeah, to see if there's anything out there that you can put you on a list for, or whatever that may be. Well, I mean, it was a pleasure to talk with you. I mean, whatever you need, feel free to reach out. We're here for you. I'll go ahead and get all that stuff all set up and send that over to you this afternoon. And just go ahead on top of it, just respond back to Anthony dates and times, and he'll set you up for the next one for groups. I will, and if I don't talk to you, happy holidays. Thanks, Veronica.